Welcome back to Scottish Mancave and welcome to this very special video. And I'm also joined along with a very special guest. He is Adam, better known as the NI Gamer 1995. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing good, mate. What about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Honestly, I've been absolutely buzzing to do this with you. I had this idea a few weeks ago, and you know, honestly, it's an absolute pleasure. You had to be the first guest if I was ever going to have any guests on this channel. So honestly, I'm really excited. But I've got a big thing to ask you. So tonight,
Yeah.
Aberdeen versus Rangers.
Oh,
What's the score prediction got to be?
oh, I don't want to upset you, Mancave, but I mean, the two teams are struggling recently, aren't they? So,
Yeah, they've been
I don't know
really.
what I'll say, and this is me being biased because I actually don't mind Aberdeen, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But I'll say I'll go 2-1 Rangers. So, well,
Yeah,
that's
that's quite a good quite a good prediction. I was actually going to say 1-1. I think maybe because we've got a couple of new defenders in, and
oh,
but our firepower up front is still lacking. So
yeah.
we're definitely not winning. I don't think.
And then Rangers, you never know. One week they could do something, the next week, one week they go and beat Celtic, and the next week they get absolutely wrecked by like Ross County or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
well, that was the thing. Like, I watched that game against Celtic, and Rangers were all over them, and I was
yeah,
so surprised, especially the lead up to the game with Clermont getting sacked and stuff. But yeah, that was crazy. But another
having the money to do that, the waste they had money for something. Know what I mean? They can't. It's crazy.
another thing, I watched Chelsea yesterday a little bit
Uh,
before
uh,
I switched over to the Celtic game. But the Cole Palmer goal was a really good finish.
Cole Palmer's, the one part about that team, absolutely, couldn't do without. Chelsea is my favourite by a mile, but
Yeah.
we were in the title race there for maybe a week and a half, and
Mhm.
then it was right out because we went something like 8 or 9 games unbeaten, and then lost to Fulham, lost to who else was it? We lost to somebody else, and then we drew,
Yeah.
and then we draw again. So yeah, the league's over for us, and I'll be happy with a Conference League spot again.
See, to be honest, though, Maresca's got Chelsea playing really good football,
Do you know what?
and
Far
that's a
far better.
shock.
Yep, 100
Yeah.
percent. It's like your manager Aberdeen. He came in and now obviously the way your manager started was unbelievable. Like, know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I don't think any Aberdeen manager, maybe since Alex Ferguson, has ever even got them close to a standard like that. So
Yeah.
it was good that way. And now, obviously, Chelsea, we've had great managers there, but I'm liking a style, but I just don't know what's going on in behind the scenes and with Chelsea, and I'm just hoping that doesn't affect going forward.
Yeah, because it was a bit of a shock because when he first got appointed as a Chelsea manager, I was like, what's he really done
Yeah,
apart from, Leicester City in the Championship? So it was a bit of a gamble, really. But
yeah.
it's a gamble that seems to be working.
Yeah, well, I always say Chelsea seemed like they wanted someone to just take control of the team and not worry about transfers all that much. And Todd Bowley wants control of everything else. And I think
Mhm.
Maresca was a perfect puppet, but at the same time, it's working out that partnership far better than what it did
Yeah.
under Pochettino or under Graham Potter or whatever. So
And
I'm happy enough.
the surprise for me as well, he's getting a tune out of Jadon Sancho as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And he
I
he was
say
a
I
player
always
that
thought
looked.
there was a great quality player there with Indy and Sancho, and you saw it at Dortmund, and just United's one of those places, isn't it? And this is no disrespect to United fans because they're what a team, but I mean, um, right now it's like you have to be a certain type of player,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
But
Like,
if you look at the players going to Man United, it's almost like they're ruining their careers just now.
yeah,
Over the last couple of years, like it might
yeah,
change eventually, but like historically, like Sancho, he was going to be like the next big thing when he was at Dortmund, and then as soon as he
yeah,
went to Man United, and it was the same for like Anthony and a few other players as
yeah,
well, sort of thing.
yeah. The only thing is, I can't talk about big, high-paying transfers like Anthony and all because we have done that, and like look at Mudryk and everything that went on with
Mhm.
him, and
Ah,
uh,
yeah. That's a whole case in itself, is it? The Mudryk kind of
yeah,
situation.
I still don't really know what. I just know it was a. All I know is that he tested positive for something, and if he did, he needs to go. But we did pay 100 million or something for him, so devastated.
Because that reminds me of when, like, you'll remember Adrian Mutu for Chelsea when
Oh
he
yes,
failed
yeah,
this. I think he got caught with cocaine or something, if I
yeah.
remember right, and he actually got sacked from Chelsea.
Oh yes,
Um,
yeah.
he got sacked
That
from
was
Chelsea.
Yeah, and again, if it's true, you do need to go. Like, one thing I've never understood is if you're a professional player, you're on this big salary contract, you just need to go by the rules. You need to do your thing. It's like any normal job. If you go in and get, you're getting drug tested and all, you have to. You're a professional. Well, you need to
Mhm.
be.
Yeah. So going on to YouTube a little bit, and this is a question I'm going to ask pretty much everyone. What made you decide, I'm going to pick up a camera and start recording, YouTube content? Like, what made you just go right? Because I know that your first
Yeah.
videos was the WWE kind of
Yes. Yeah.
streams you done, sort of thing. So, like, for people that don't know who you are, just to sort of explain where you started on YouTube and like your YouTube journey.
Well, yeah, I've had a family, so like my cousin's a big rapper over here, young
Mhm.
Spencer. He recently performed in the SSE Arena, our big arena in front of 9,000 people for the kneecap show. So he's always had a part to play, and he's always, if you know Spencer, and I'm sure some people might in Scotland, he's even quite known,
Mhm.
So,
Big
but
shout out to
he's
Spencer, by the way.
yeah, and big time. And he, if you know him, he just wants you to follow your dream and just be happy. So he said,
Mhm.
like, for years, I'm not gonna lie, for years, when the depression and all was bad, and I was, I would always be like, I don't even know why I'm here. I don't know what's going on. I don't have a plan. And he was like, right, well, Adam, get yourself into gear, figure something out. You love your
Mhm.
gaming, don't you? Why don't you try and do something with it? And
Yeah.
he was always, like that. So but now obviously he's not just a sole influence, but he's such a big influence. But
Mhm.
I remember I was watching a guy called that, is it Ricky J Sports as well?
Okay.
I can't fully remember if that's his name or not, or I feel a bit bad. I don't watch his stuff too much anymore just because I'm not busy. But he did Royal Rumbles, so he
All
did.
right. Yeah.
So that was the idea as well behind mine,
Uh,
and you know I watched. I was so intrigued, and I was loving. I was like, this guy's actually, he knows his wrestling. He's very
yeah.
good, and I was like, but I've been a wrestler. I know what it's. I know the moves a lot more. I feel like I
Mhm.
could, and then I just started. I bought my capture card. I bought my laptop, and there's still so much more I need to get, and I've been at this for like 3 years. So
Yeah.
it's just one
But
of
like,
those.
an amazing statistics. I did a little bit of research this afternoon, and
Yeah,
like for what's it, 3 years you've said you've been doing it
yeah,
now, and you've currently got 6,000 one. I I can't count. You've got 6.14K
yeah,
subscribers, and you've got and this is absolutely amazing, like unbelievable. You've made 5.2K videos, and I know a lot of
yeah.
that might be shorts
Oh yeah,
and live
yeah,
streams and stuff, but even then, that is just crazy numbers, mate.
yeah. My work ethic in terms of that has been insane. Like I'll never like I just love to do it every day, and it's just something that, like, try and get a couple of videos out every day. I didn't realize it was that much.
Yeah,
Over 5,000 videos.
when
Now
I
a
looked at it,
whole
it was
lot of them are
amazing.
shorts, and people might
Mhm.
be like, oh, why did you just do this? So I go on GTA, like, if I'm getting a bit of downtime, so I record it and just, that's what people do. Look at me, maybe like, this guy's maybe a bit nuts, but I just, but I would always go on GTA and take the car off the streets and into the road and all that there. And so for me, it's funny, and I put them up, and then I put them in the compilation, and then I do my live streams too. Like, I'm sure I have so many videos on the live streams, which is my favorite type of content to do. I just feel it's the most natural for any streamer, for any content creator. And then the videos have tailed off a wee bit, but I'm going to try and bring them back. That's my New Year's
Yeah.
resolution, to try and you know
Well,
get the
I know,
videos
I
back.
know myself with like trying the gaming channel. It's a lot of work. Like it's a lot of work when I do the vlogs and stuff. But see, when
Oh
I'm doing like the gaming channel, I just find the editing tedious,
yeah,
especially because yeah, it's like it's quite hard work.
yeah. And I put myself under a lot of stress too, because I am like a one take man. I don't like
Mm,
I don't always, well, if even if I mess my words up at the start, I'll still just try and keep going, because I
yeah.
don't like to stop my momentum. And that's why videos for me there were a long time were hard to do, just because I was putting so much pressure on myself to get it right first time, which maybe he's wrong on my end, but at the same time, it has helped me out. And like, that's why I feel so natural on the live streams,
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
I
and
feel
you're a
like,
natural.
and I appreciate that. And
Mhm.
by the way, your stuff is your vlog stuff, mate. that's top editing right there.
Yeah.
So
See,
fair play.
it has to be good editing though, because like as you brought up, like doing it in one take, it takes me sometimes like 10 takes to, especially when I'm out in the public,
Yeah,
to get it right. And even then, sometimes I'm not always because like but content creators, you want to be like perfectionists and try
yeah,
and like create the best content you can. And even sometimes I'm like, I wish I had done that take a bit different or whatever kind of thing. But like going back to yourself, like with you started off with the WWE, and
yeah.
when did you decide to start doing like other games, like
Well, the
Skyrims and stuff?
WWE was, don't get me wrong. So like WWE was the first to take off. Now it was my
Mhm.
first couple of videos, but I did do like a Fallout 3, and I had I'm trying to remember the other game. Maybe it was like FIFA or something. There was another
Yeah.
couple. So I was trying to spread it out, but YouTube, it's got trends, and I noticed the WWE was picking up at the time, and was getting me more subscribers, and so I did put more emphasis on the WWE stuff. But it was never my like, and that's why I don't do it as much today, because
Mhm.
I never wanted to be known as just one guy that games WWE. That was never the
Yeah.
you know
The
because
intention.
yeah, because now don't get me wrong, like I still try and keep up to date with WWE and stuff outside, but I'm not as enthusiastic as I was maybe a good load of years back. So
Hmm.
even all that's changed, and I just wanted to be known as a gamer,
Yeah.
and so WWE is one of those great games, but it needed to change at
Mhm.
one point, and thankfully it did.
Because that's how I found you was through a WWE stream, and it was just by luck really that I was just bored one day and I was like WWE gaming, I think it was, or like WWE 2K, and like there was a few and I was like, oh, Northern Ireland gamer, and then it's just well history ever since, mate, kind
Yeah,
of
but
thing.
that's class. Mate. That's actually
Yeah.
unbelievable, because I never hear how people actually sort of stumble across a channel. And yourself, what's brilliant about YouTube is that there's people all around the world that you never know. Like I was looking at
Mhm.
statistics the other day, and I had people listening in Afghanistan, and I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
There's people listening, and you wouldn't believe, like the places Peru, and maybe even Timbuktu and all. You never know, but um, it's that's the great thing about YouTube, and it does bring a whole lot of people. And I would say
Mhm.
this to people, like as like a bit of an inspirational message. Like, why not just give it a go? And you will, even if you've 50 subs. That's 50 people that maybe you're so interested in what you're doing, and you might gain friends from that. So if you
Mhm.
are someone that maybe is a gamer and feels like they're on their own, just try and maybe do a bit of content, and you never know the people you'll meet, because I've met some great people during my
Mhm.
time.
And I think that's the thing. A lot of YouTubers do try and focus on the numbers, like the amount of subscribers they've got. But like as you just mentioned, for example, like without your YouTube channel, then I don't know you, I don't know RTV Race, I don't
Yeah,
know Simon Orion, for example, Alf.
yeah, yeah,
The sort of community that we've sort of just all of a sudden, like over the last year and a half, say, came together kind of thing and with a similar interest. Like outside of, like in my personal life, I don't have any friends that are like
yeah.
YouTube creators or are interested in like, the same sort of hobbies that we do kind of thing. So it's refreshing to like meet people that have the same sort of hobbies and stuff as you do.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, and shout out to all those, because they're there every time. They
Hmm.
come in with great conversations, and I'm not gonna lie, most Simon and Reese and all, they know much way more about games than I do. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
100%, 100%. They're
Um,
like diehards.
yeah, which is what you need on gaming channels, and
Mhm.
things like that. There, you need that enthusiasm, and it was such a great pleasure, and to get playing with yourself, Mancave, and
Mhm.
doing all those Fortnite streams and stuff, and
Yeah,
and then
they
still
were
doing stuff.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like I never thought that's what kind of got me back into gaming was that actually because
yeah,
I was doing a lot of collecting, but I wasn't
yeah,
really like online gaming or anything, and it just sort of I don't know brought that spark back, online gaming and stuff, and just like obviously with the Fortnite streams, and then we done like the World War Z, which was good
yeah.
fun as
Yeah.
well. sort
Yeah.
of thing. So
You know,
it was refreshing for me as well because it's like, oh, I've never really done this probably since like the Xbox 360 days when you
yeah,
used to go on your mates after school kind of thing.
yeah,
So it just brought that
100%.
gaming kind of online gaming back sort of
And
thing. That
I'm not
feel.
calling you out or whatever here, Mancave, but you're about the same age as myself. Well,
Yeah.
maybe I'm not going to fully say, but like you'll remember. I don't know if you would like Gears of War 3 and all, and like
Hmm.
doing or Gears of War at least. You know, you would.
Yeah.
That was my first introduction to being in clans, and and then Call of Duty came about, and
Yeah.
so like yeah, you miss those days. The Fortnite really, like you said, there really brought me interest back into online gaming and
Hmm.
things like that. They're great
I,
sessions.
I think with like Fortnite as well, and I think both of us feel the same. Like we did enjoy the game, but I think
Yeah.
eventually you do get burnt out playing the same
Yeah,
game every single like we were doing it like as a schedule every single Sunday,
yeah,
and eventually it doesn't take its toll. I don't think that's the right way to
yeah,
say it, but you kind of you don't enjoy it as much. It doesn't become that like novelty kind of thing. Like you're playing that
yeah,
same game, and that's why like with yourself, for example, and even me, it's like just playing different games because you get bored of the same thing every
yeah,
kind of week, if that makes sense. But
yeah.
we
I've
enjoy
never
the
been a
communication
yeah,
with the
yeah. Never
guys.
been a schedule person, and it was starting to be like every Sunday, and
Yeah.
I was getting stressed about it and being like, I'm a go with the flow type of guy. Sometimes
Hmm.
it doesn't. I just mean in terms of the decisions it makes.
Yeah.
I just go, do you want to know what? I'm just gonna. There's been jobs where I've went, I'm not feeling it today. I'm gonna leave, and I've just
Yeah.
left. I've never even thought one tiny bit about it. So,
Hmm.
like, I want to start to feel pressure, or like feel like I'm one to just
Yeah.
crumble easily, and it was scaring me. So I was like, look, and it probably came across real, negative. But the game was brilliant, the sessions were brilliant,
Yeah.
and obviously I got the
It's the same as me. Like when I sort of took over from yourself with
yep,
streaming it. Anyway, it felt like if I didn't do it, I was letting people down.
yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, like it kind of
yep,
had that feeling to it. So it was like having that responsibility to like sort of produce
yeah.
it, sort of thing. So, but
But
yeah,
here,
like
RTB Reese is so good at that game. Like you've
yeah,
got to give him.
unreal.
Like I would get maybe one or two kills behind him as he was just
Like
taking
he'll get
everybody out
like
so perfectly.
20 kills and carry the whole team normally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Honestly,
But yeah, big shout out to the lads who will be watching this. This is definitely for you guys as well
yeah.
because you're part of our sort of
Oh, wow.
community
Yep.
kind of hanging support both our channels. So and we
Big
all
time.
support each other, which is just a amazing thing to have. But yeah,
Yeah.
going back onto like the YouTube thing, it can't be what I've realized, especially with live streaming. Now, when I'm like uploading videos, you can kind of control the narrative
Yeah.
of that videos, but obviously with streaming. And I've got to bring it up. Like sometimes you can get some weird characters coming in
Oh,
streams
yeah.
and stuff, and it's not just you. You have noticed it's Alf as well. Alf that
Yeah.
MVP. Sometimes you'll just get weird trolls
Yeah.
coming out with some like crazy stuff.
Yeah. Weird. It's. I've never understood. I've never went into LA stream and that most I'll maybe read a couple of comments about the game or saying what's happening to people or
Mhm,
like the stream. I've never wanted to write abusive or offensive stuff in there. I don't know where that comes from, but
mhm.
yeah, like, and it is hard to control, and that's why it is good for a channel to have some trustworthy people in there for to be
Yeah.
moderators and just
Mhm.
control things. Like I have Reese, I have yourself, I have
Yeah.
other people that can come in, and I'm the same on your channel, and it goes the same way.
Mhm.
But they'll be able to take those people out. Like if I notice any type of offensive stuff, I tend to do it right away, or Reese will do it for me, which is really
Yeah. I
the
think
same for anybody.
that's one thing about yourself. Like as I say, like you probably don't have, as I say, the biggest subscriber count in the
Yep,
world, but
yep,
like we've spoke about this before. Like sometimes with short content and stuff,
yep,
you do get, and I've seen a lot of channels speak about this, and I know for a fact I've got it as well. It's like dead subscribers, so people that
yeah,
might be subscribed but they haven't been logged into YouTube in like a year or two, for example. But like you've got such a good like like core of people that support you and like won't take shit basically.
yep.
And that like I like brilliant like mods and stuff.
Yeah, I should have. There was an example the other day or the other week where a guy came in and I didn't really see the profile picture. My eyes are going and it
Hmm.
was really, it wasn't good, and thankfully Reese was there, and like after like a bit, Reese just took him out, and because it's hard as well. You're trying to play, you're trying to control a chat, you're trying to talk, and I'm glad YouTube's at least dead on that way because it could be seen as oh, this guy's not doing anything to uphold the standards needed in the chat, and
Hmm.
they just understand that it's a chat. You've got your own conversations going, and you've got a game you're trying to play. So,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people in the chat know that too. So,
Hmm.
it's annoying when those people come in.
And I think that's another thing I noticed when I've done live streaming. It's pretty difficult focusing on the chat, but also focusing on a game
Yeah,
and going back and forward and like multitasking. That's quite a difficult thing to do.
it is.
And you
It is.
handle that perfectly.
I appreciate that. I really do. Like I've always been like a good speaker. Like when it comes to school and stuff, I've always wanted to be up there. But a lot of times as well, when I get up there, it's like, whoa.
So another exciting thing about YouTube that you've been doing recently, Adam, and again, I would love you to just share with everyone, is you've been going to like seminars, I think it is, or like YouTube groups and meetings and stuff.
Yeah, so it's called the community partner program. So like I don't know the way it works and how to invite people in, but it was also on the High Five program
Hmm.
as well. That's where I got the wee YouTube stuff there behind me,
Yeah,
and it was like a thing where they were sending you out certain deals, like they would give you out like a free Greg Sassy's roll and a wee cup of coffee,
that's
or
pretty cool.
you could get them as well. I got a pair of YouTube sacks of a YouTube hat and all, and
Uh-huh.
so it was good that way. So I think because I was on that then, and obviously with maybe stats and especially with the shorts, because my shorts, numbers, I'm sure that like because that's what a lot of it tended to be about. A lot
Yeah,
of it was shorts and videos, and but then I got invited. I got an email from Abby, and she was like, "Look, do you want to join it?" And I was like, "I'm always thinking because people probably think the worst of my shorts and think I'm this crazy, chaotic, guy that just I
pure
speak them up.
NPCs on
Yeah,
GTA.
NPCs are the only real people I have issues with. You know what I mean? So, but
See, I always find it hilarious, so I don't know why people wouldn't like it.
yeah, and if you saw mine's at the start with I just recorded in my hand with my camera right up to the laptop that came on
Mm,
so much. But anyway,
so much from then.
but I was worried, and I was saying to myself, look, if I show Abby my real, she knew me as Adam, the NI
Mhm,
gamer. I'm sure she hadn't really checked it fully out, so I was like, should have send in because you have to apply for it, and
mhm.
then I applied for it, and they got back to me like maybe a couple of days later saying, yeah, you're in. So now there's a lot of people that get the invite, so I was in calls with people between 150 to 200 other
Oh
creators,
wow,
and
yeah.
it was brilliant, and it was just like this, but they would set up stuff. So there was a few calls that we were in where we had I had there was like this couple and they had a channel and it was over 1.5 million, and then
Wow.
there was another guy with 500,000, and they were really going into details about how much they made and statistics, and
Mhm.
it was proper good, and I'm glad it ended when it did because you know I felt like all there was maybe one thing I wanted them to do, but they didn't get doing that course because they said at the start there was going to be like a copyright in copyright. And what did you fully call it was like a copyright in something,
Yeah.
whatever. But it was sort of like to get you to understand the copyright system and what's good and what's not good. And
Mhm,
I wanted them to do that, but obviously we didn't have the time or to change that out for a different one. And but it
mhm.
was brilliant. Like, and I got to meet. I'm actually still in a Discord chat with everybody. Like, if I want to
That's
go in, and,
brilliant. Yeah. Because I
they'll
was about to say, like, that's my biggest gripe with YouTube is the copyright. Like, for
yeah
example, I could be in a Costa Coffee filming, having a coffee, and for 2 seconds of music, I'm getting like the copyright infringement sort of thing. So, like, obviously, I'm not big enough to have ads on my videos or anything,
yeah.
but if I did, that affects my ad revenue and all that.
Yeah, it really is a nightmare, and that's why like I like games that have the streamer mode, which turns me all
Yeah.
music off. If not, I go in and turn all music off. My
Mhm.
favorite thing about gaming at before I started YouTube was the likes of Fallout. You had the tunes, GTA, you have the
Yeah.
radio. I loved
Mhm.
all that, and now I never get to play a game of any music, so it just
Yeah.
feels dead flat. But I
It's
would
the
love,
same with FIFA. Like, for FIFA, like, I love FIFA for the music.
yeah,
And like obviously with streaming, you can't actually have like the menu
yeah.
music. on FIFA.
100%,
It's
and
so
it,
annoying.
it really is. And for yourself, who like you says you're, it's different if you put that music in yourself. If you're out
Mhm.
at a coffee shop, they should realize that look, it's not your fault. Like you can't control what music's going on in the background or what So they should be more, you know, aware of that. But obviously, it's hard to incorporate that too. But that would have been a good course because I could have then feeded it back info to yourself and just maybe had a bit of awareness myself of what goes on with the copyright.
And do you think as well, with going on these like sort of webinars and stuff, like it'll make you a better content creator as well?
I feel like it did, and I feel like it gave me a big confidence boost and like a motivator to. I was seeing people who were making so much better content than myself, and now when I say that, it always makes it sound like I'm being down on myself. I do that anyway, but I mean, like, I just because I do a lot of live streaming, me editing
Mhm.
isn't always as great, So
Mhm.
maybe that's something I need to improve on. But at the same time, like they're so like them seminars and those wee things, like the people were so dead on. And if I didn't live in Northern Ireland, to be fair, which would have been cool because they invited everyone for like a bowling night and
Oh,
anyone
really?
there was, like these gaming nights and all as well. And
Aye.
it was all in London. I can't, and even for
No.
yourself, it would be a hard trip,
Yeah. Yeah,
So
you would have to get a plane, and even then, expenses, hotel, and all that. It's just it's a lot of it's quite a bit
playing
big
down, playing back.
expense. Yeah, like even like the Meg, it takes like 12 hours from Aberdeen to get down on a bus to London. So like even then, it's, ugh, it's definitely not worth it.
Yeah, no, no, but the opportunities were there and to be fair, I actually did get an email from. So there's a members one partly
Mhm.
coming, so I'm gonna hop in that as well and see if I can set my application away for it and all as well. So I just want to pick up as much knowledge from YouTube as I can and try and implement it. Although for me and my channel, what I'm lacking is just the equipment, and I don't have a off a laptop right now. I have TV with the Xbox. It's not the best setup, so I'm working
Yeah,
with scraps at the minute. I think I'm doing well with those scraps, but it could be better.
it's the same with me. When I used to do the welcome back to the man cave segment, I feels like the productions went up a bit because I've
Oh, oh,
invested in a
yeah,
microphone. So
yeah.
I think so. Like I know what you mean. It's like when you've got limited equipment, you can only do as much as you can, really, when it comes to production and stuff. And like, with you live streaming, for example, like the Elgato stream decks you get and stuff. I dare say that's on your bucket list to get, kind of thing.
I actually do have one. I do
Oh, do
have
you
the
actually?
Elgato
Yeah,
there, yeah, and
yeah.
I don't use it as much because you know, I'm one of these ones as well where if something's working, like
Don't.
I'm scared to
Yeah.
implement something else into it.
Hmm.
But maybe I should really look into, getting that. So, but also, man, Kevin, you know this too with when you're content creating and you're spending a lot of time in the house, what I've done for the last load of months is just try and get out walking and be out a wee bit more, joined at our team. So it did. And,
Hmm.
I'm trying to split my time up through so many different things. And, you know, I do feel like my content has maybe been affected by that, but at the same time, I'm trying to live a normal life too.
That's it. And that's actually a good way to segue into your darts channel. You've
Yeah,
got a darts channel on YouTube as well.
I do. I have two other channels, and the darts is probably it probably is my most relaxed just because I get to throw a board and I don't really care what happens. There's no real editing involved. There's no real, I used to do shorts and some videos and things like that there, but I always say that like if people are coming into the YouTube gaming channel and I'm struggling to speak or whatever, and I'm struggling on a game or what, and I'm going mental or whatever, I'd be like, look, come over to the darts where I might still go
Yeah.
a wee bit mental, but I'll be able to talk to you more. You know what I mean? So at
Yeah.
the same time, that's why I love the darts. And but I always say, look, and I have it in my description and all. I'm not a brilliant dart player. I'm an okay dart player. I play for
Mhm.
the fun of it now. I used to be, a good player and. See, to be fair, last night I had three 180s on the dart stream,
Well,
so
did you
and a wee
actually?
55
That's
that night, so I
pretty
was loving
decent.
it. So
Who knows? You might be going to Q school next year.
oh,
Maybe keep that up.
not a chance. Know what I mean? But I get 500 quid as well, and I'll never be able to scrape that together. So,
And still
um,
going on about that, the whole world championship with Luke Littler as well. It's just insane. A 17-year-old winning the darts world championship. Like the standard of darts
yeah,
is just incredible from for his age. It's like I remember I used to be. half decent at 17. I used to hit 180s for fun, but what that kid can do is just ridiculous.
It's insane, and he does it with such fluidity. You know, he just
Mhm.
it doesn't look like it affects him at all. Like at 17, I was stressing about exams and all that there, and like I'm not even in front of anybody. You know what I mean? So. We all have that stress, but I mean, the way he just gets up on stage in front of that crowd and just bangs everything, and it's fair play to him because
Yeah.
he'll win a lot of stuff and get a lot of money. If he just keeps his head right, which he's good for anyway. So yeah, it's and I've noticed it as well in my dart team and with being in my dart league in Belfast. I've noticed a lot of younger players. Like the other week, or we were playing the Ruby Bar, and there was this
Okay.
14-year-old playing,
Oh,
and this
really?
14-year-old player was. And I think he had an 18 dart leg or something, so he did.
Jesus,
So
that's amazing for 14 years old.
14. His mum and dad were sitting with him at the back, you know what I mean? And I
Ah,
go, fair play. Like, I went up and was like, look, just keep your son on a good, keep him away. I was over here in Northern Ireland, I'm sure in Scotland as well. There's
mm.
bad influences out there, so keep him away from that and just keep him throwing darts at the board, and he
Well,
will
that's
do
it.
well.
Like, obviously you get like Riley's. Well, I don't know if there's one in Belfast, but like we've got one in Aberdeen. There's like Riley's, a few other places that are more
Right.
kid friendly sort of thing.
Oh,
So, I remember years and years ago. Well, when I was a kid, we were playing at Riley's, and sometimes you would it was a darts night on a Tuesday or a Thursday, I think it was. And it was like organised, and then basically I played in the Scottish youth in
right.
darts.
Fair play.
And I played the Scottish Youth Champion. I can't remember his name now, but it's on Google somewhere. And I remember like the first game. It was best of three. Sorry, first of three. And the first leg, I got down to like double 16. He was back on like 150 or something. Takes it out. I'm like, no way. 1-0 him. Second leg again. Played the best I've probably ever played. Again, gets down to like double 16 was my favorite double, so it's probably 16 or double top or something. Again, he takes out the ton plus checkout. I'm like, what the hell? And then by the third leg, I totally caved in, and
Yeah.
he hit like a 15 dart leg or something. It was like, how can you compete with that sort of thing? So, but
And
yeah,
sometimes,
it's good. It is
yeah,
good.
you can't compete with brilliant players like that, and they sometimes, like with us, or if you're just practicing normally, like I don't know what they do to be that good, but they just are sometimes, and you just gotta accept it there when you're standing. I take
Mhm.
my anger out when I leave and no one's about.
I kind of like how Stephen Hendry probably silently
Yeah,
was the manga, yeah.
I'm always all right, great game, mate. And they're thinking this guy's dead on him. When I get back to the house, I'm like, going, what happened there? What's going on? This is disgraceful.
I think I'm the same. Like deep down, like I'm quite competitive when it comes to sports, so I don't like
Yeah.
losing. I
Oh
hate
yeah.
losing.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm the same, and probably when I was a lot younger, and even still now at times, depending on how my mood is, like I'll be one of the worst losers ever. But at the same time, like you know, it's just that competitiveness, which
Yeah,
is why, like, I don't know if you saw me on stream saying like I hate being competitive. I don't want to play people on FIFA
yeah.
because I get mad and I just don't like myself being that way. So you know,
I totally get it. Like for me, for some reason, video games I like if I'm playing someone at FIFA, I don't get angry if I lose or something. But when it comes to real sports, I am super well. Not
yeah,
now because I discovered a thing called the sesh, but
yeah,
um, like before, like when I was like super fit and stuff and play football, like for me, I was like super competitive. Like I hated getting beat, especially if
yeah,
it was against people I did not like as well. Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, like I was so like my pal John. He's not into football or anything, right? And I remember at school, like I always got put in the crappy team, and it
right,
was like the popular kids would go on the good team. So it was always going to be like a game where they were expected to win like 15-0, right? And I used to just, like scream at my pal John, like,
yeah.
John, get your hands out your pockets. Um, Chase that bloody. I was proper like a captain, like because
I
I
mean, I'd be the
hated
same.
getting beat by them. And he gives me grief to this day about it.
Yeah,
He's like, I remember when you used to shout at me at football, and I says, "Aye, well, you had your hands in your pockets, and we needed to beat them."
Honestly, Mancave, I was the same. If we were doing five aside, and I didn't see people running back like I was up and down. I didn't think I had good cardio until started
Mhm.
playing football or whatever again when I was a bit older. And I was like, "You better get back, or I'm coming over, I'm kicking you." You know what I mean? If you're not getting back like I am, know what I mean? And
Yeah, like
you
like
forget
I
not
was so
everyone is as intense.
I was so bad. I'd be like screaming in his face, like "Get your hands in your pockets!" Like I was that competitive. Bit like,
I don't blame you there, though. Although that's not always just competitive. That's telling to get the finger out. Know what I mean? And
uh,
go.
maybe part of that was I was like at the time I liked this last scene. I was trying to impress her, so that might have played a part in it as well. But like even
Yeah,
then, just in general, was when it came to like football, especially, I was never the best player, but like I had a bit of an engine, so like I could run,
yeah.
90 minutes, no problem. But I never actually played for a team or anything.
I'll not forget this, and this is a wee story from my past. But I remember I was playing in the Christmas handicap up in my dad's snooker hall, and
All right.
I got did a semi final, so it did, and because it was playing a couple of easy people, and then I got a bye, and then I got into the semi, and there was another bye round because the other guy didn't show up, so they put our names in the hat and drew it out, and the guy got into the final. I didn't. I had to play the semi final then, and your man ended up beating me, and I was raging, and my mates were there, my dad, and I just walked out. It was a £10 for the
Mhm.
the guy that came third anyway, and I didn't even lift it. I just walked on out.
Really?
And my mates get in the car, and they knew it was. They were like, that was the most awkward car ride ever back down to the house, and we were coming back down to mine, and just to sit and chill out. And I get out of the car, and I went to turn round like that, and I didn't realize my mate had closed the back door as well.
Yeah.
I went to walk, and my finger got caught in the
Oh,
car, and I went to walk.
right.
I went, "Why can I not?" And I turned around, my finger was nearly like the bone was near hanging out and everything. It was mental,
Oh,
so it was. And I was like, "That's karma for me." I should have just stayed up there. Should have been dead on. I deserved it.
that sounds horrific.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a great feeling, but I was so angry as well. I then turned around to my mate, and that was your fault. I'm gonna take my anger out on you, and just wasn't good. But he understood.
We've spoken about the Darts channel, but you've also got the Reacts channel as well, Adam.
I do as well. I've got free channels on the go, and they're all time consuming, and they're hard to get stuff out for every time. But I've like 800 subs over there, and
Which is
nearly
mental.
I think
For like
nearly
another channel that you've done, like you've got three channels. That's just insane. Like I sometimes struggle with the two,
yeah,
and even then, I've sort of neglected the gaming channel, like
yeah.
kind of thing. So for you to have three channels, that is so much work,
It really is, and don't get me wrong, some are neglected in a way, but there
man.
is times I go right back to them and try and put stuff out, and the reaction stuff. Like I love to do, I really do, but
Mhm.
at the same time, like it's just harder. There is more editing involved in them, and then trying to get the audio right and just try and think of stuff to react to. I feel like recently I've been doing the same type of things over there, and sometimes like you know, you wish you really had a proper engaging channel there, so then they could go, look, Adam, I want you to react to this sport, or can you
Mhm.
react to 50 different things in America or whatever? I'm not
Yeah.
always, so I go off what I want to react to, and sometimes maybe that's why over there isn't catching fire, as much, but still a brilliant channel. I love
Oh yeah.
doing it, and
Yeah,
just,
yeah. But the thing is, as well, like your reactions are quite genuine. Like I got asked from Reese a couple of months back to try and react to a video, and I just
yeah,
could not do it. I so struggled. Like I just didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel like when I done a reaction video to like sorry guys, you might see the cat in the background. That's a
don't
regular
worry,
occurrence.
don't
But
worry, honestly.
yeah, like I tried to do it and I just couldn't manage. Like I just didn't feel authentic. And then because it was like a subject I didn't know anything about as well, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, like it would be like I deleted the video. I was like, no, this is
Yeah.
terrible. This is
It's
terrible.
it is hard, and even like that's why I try to do stuff just where I don't really know a crazy amount. I do have had some darts and stuff on there and
Mhm.
some football, which I obviously know a lot about, but
Yeah.
a lot of them are like top five emotional parts or top five, crazy wins or whatever. So there
Mhm.
is a good bit to react to in them. You know what I mean? It's not just random, but It is a good channel. Check it
Yeah,
out.
no, definitely. Well, all the links to all your channels are going to be down below anyway for this video.
I appreciate that. I do. I do.
100%. And yeah, going on to that, like again, it's just like going back to YouTube. It is quite challenging, like because you do kind of stick to a schedule.
Yeah.
In terms of like, you don't stick. You try and stream every single day, is what I was like
Yeah.
saying, and
Yeah.
that's quite challenging. And like, again, like going like I've suffered from this as well. You can get a bit burnt out by it a little
Yes.
bit
Yep.
by
Yep.
uploading videos and stuff or editing, like especially if you've got you're busy with other things
Yep.
in general and life sort of thing. It can be quite challenging.
It really is, and not many people I know stream every single day, and other content creators. But a lot of times as well, the whole thought behind that was like, if people come in and go, "Oh, he just does shorts. They're terrible. They're just the same thing over and over again." Well, if you actually come and look at the channel, I do have videos. I do go live every day.
Hmm.
It's not just about the shorts. Don't get me wrong. The shorts is what started the uprising of the channel. But I look at my favorite content and my most genuine and the one that waste people would flock to the most is the live streams.
Hmm.
But look, this isn't a complaint. It's just
Yeah.
just an explanation as to why I feel and why I love to actually stream every day. Just it's I get to be myself and but you can get really burnt out. I was
Hmm.
trying to maybe do 2 streams and a dart stream as well, and it's just not the way to
Yeah,
go.
it's too much, is it? But what I was going to say as well is that New Year stream you've done, like the amount of
Yeah.
people, like recently as well, especially you've been killing it in terms of live views.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's getting a whole lot. Like I'm seeing at least 50 views plus. On a lot of different. If I was more consistent, that's the thing. When I was so consistent there, mate.
Hmm.
Where consistency is key because then, and especially with YouTube, you're constantly in that algorithm of. It's just hard to keep that up every single
But
day. And
I'm meaning more like in terms of your live viewers and your live
oh
streams. Like you've been
oh
absolutely killing it. Like
oh
it's the highest I've ever seen it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I
Recently, yeah.
appreciate that. Also, as well, because it is the new year too, like people,
Mhm.
like to come in and watch, and you know, people. It's class as well because people who might not have shown up for the channel for a while, which is
Yeah.
nothing wrong with, come
Mhm.
in for streams like that and and that's why I did something like I think it was Fallout I did, or like there was some type that may have been Christmas. I'm not sure. There was,
I'm trying to remember, but I knew it was like
yeah,
20 people in the chat at one point, which
yeah,
was it was crazy kind of thing. It was like the biggest I've seen. Like,
yeah,
and that like is just incredible. Like, I think Alf, I think he done something similar sort of thing, but to get that numbers live is pretty difficult as well.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like, like it was such a great stream, and like this is one thing about your community as well. It's like everyone gets on with everyone. There's such a good
yeah,
interaction in the chat and everything between each other, sort of thing. It's brilliant.
yeah, and that's what Sire. A drumming going on out there. Sorry. But yeah, if I disrupt the street today, come on ahead, we're recording.
It's all
But,
right. I've got a destructive cat kicking about.
it always happens when you need to do something. That's another
Yeah.
thing about YouTube. You can't control the elements around you. But um, no, the community's brilliant, and now don't get me wrong. Like when you have first days of games coming out, that's when I get like WWE last year was a like maybe over 300 watched, like not at the same time. You have like the same if a FIFA comes out, if GTA, when the GTA comes out, everyone's going to be like that
Yeah,
though.
everyone's got to jump into that, are they?
Yeah, and it's going to be so. Yeah, I genuinely can't wait for this year. As long as it doesn't get cancelled or delayed or whatever, I'll be happy.
See, I won't be too fussed if it gets delayed as long as the game comes out and it's not broken.
Yeah,
That would
hundred
be my
percent.
only gripe. But
I
I'm
I
sure it
agree.
won't be.
I would rather it be delayed a year, knowing that it's going to be perfect when it comes out, because
Mhm.
it's not very often Rockstar bring out game after game, or like like a GTA does take like from San Andreas to GTA 4, wasn't it? Or am I getting that
Mhm.
wrong? And then GTA 4 to GTA 5 was a while, and then now from I
Well,
think
it's been
GTA
about
5,
what 10 years, over 10 years now.
yeah, 100%. I remember waiting in line for that GTA in 2013 or something it was, and I was the first to get the collector's box. I still have the box up the stairs, and you got
Mhm.
a wee hat, you got a money bag, and all. So
Yeah,
I'll be doing the same this year. Although because everything like and you'll know a lot about this, man cave, is that I would love that GTA hard copy, but at the same time, because I'm a streamer and it's so much easier to go onto the store
Download
and
it, yeah,
get it,
hundred
bring it
percent.
down,
Well,
and it's so
I still
annoying.
do that with FIFA. So
Yeah,
apart from this year, I think this was the first year in quite a while that I haven't downloaded it digitally because obviously you want it like midnight right
yeah,
away,
yeah,
kind of hanging like Amazon. Well, I think it was like a couple of years ago, like Amazon delivered FIFA like 2 days late when it should have been.
right,
Kind of
yeah.
thing. So like, yeah,
It's
you
just
want
crazy.
that as soon as you can. Well, in fact, you can just download it and it's just ready to play at 12 o'clock, is it? So
That's why, as a streamer, it is way more like
convenient, is
better
it?
that way. But I don't have a lot of like I've so many games on the Xbox, but I wish I had the copies for them. I've only got a few now, the actual discs, and I barely have any. I've more PS3 games to be fair than, and I don't even have that many. I've got about 10, but I mean that's more
Yeah.
than the actual discs for the most recent console I have, which is
So
crazy.
what would actually be your favorite GT of all time?
Oh, see, it's
Such
a
a tough
difficult
question.
one. The one I've put the most art into is the GTA 5,
Hmm.
and there is elements to that, but the most realistic one, I think, is GTA 4 with the
Yeah,
Nico Bellic, and it just feels more real, and that's what I don't
I think
want.
like the mechanics and the driving and stuff feels better in GTA 4 than
Yeah,
5. I feel like they took
100%.
a backward step in GTA 5 with like the physics
Really,
and stuff.
even stuff real like when the ambulance came out, they actually were able to revive and put them in the back of the van and drove
Hmm.
away. And the police arrested someone, put them in the back of the car, and away they went. Like things like that. And in the new GTA, it didn't, you know, connect. But hitting NPCs with cars in GTA 5 is way more impressive and better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it is.
no, I think like for me, San Andreas is probably my favorite. No, in fact, Vice City, but that's because of the music and the nostalgia. So that was the
Yeah.
first GTA I ever played.
Don't get
Um,
me wrong, San Andreas as well, like getting the jetpack and all
yeah, the
the boots and
jetpack
all
and all that.
was so fun as well. To be fair, like they're all as good, I think, but
Mhm.
just in terms of because of you know I grew up more with the San Andreas and the GTA 4 and
Yeah,
5. It's probably them, to be fair,
yeah.
more than the other
I
ones.
would say like Vice City is my favorite game, but San Andreas was the better game.
Yeah,
I always say that. But
yeah,
like I would say, I don't know. It was GTA 5 story. I just couldn't get into the
yeah.
story as much as the older GTA's for
I
some reason.
think because they added that element of free characters, it is
Mhm.
difficult to tie a story around all three of them, and I don't know like if they put a crazy amount of thought into it, in terms of
Mhm.
how it really was going to work. But I think maybe two would be your best bet. Like I think that's why the next one, if
Yeah,
you're a girl, if you can be a girl and the fella, it'll be so much better because that's why the other ones were so good too. You had CJ, you just had him. It was all about him, the world,
yeah.
and Cloud, or isn't it Cloud? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong.
Claude. Yeah, no, you're
Claude,
right. You're
Claude,
right.
him as well, and then you had Nico. It was all about him, and don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
you had Roman, wasn't it, in there as well, and
Yeah, Roman going to bowling and all that.
yeah, yeah, that was the only thing you ever got from him. But I mean, like, I think that was the whole issue with it was tying three characters into one story, which
Yeah.
is extremely hard.
That's what I'm really hoping for with GTA 6. Like for me, I'm not too fussed about the online. I just want the story to be good.
Yeah,
Um,
story. Yeah, I just want
yeah.
the NPCs to be good. That'll be
Well,
that's
I know for a fact like the shots for the NPCs will be right up there as soon as it's
yeah, I'll be as
released.
soon as I see a crowd do it. But don't ever do it in real life, folks.
No,
Don't.
no,
Like,
no. It's
only in
entertainment
GTA.
purposes.
It's a good way to let your frustration out. When you're as frustrated as I am.
Well, that's it. Like, you always get people that'll love your content, and then there are people that don't. Like, there'll be these like people be like, "Oh, what you try to insinuate, like in real life, kind of thing," when it's just a video game and you're having
That's what
fun. And
I'm always worried about. But if you know my history and you go back, I've done that for years. So, and I used to get comments like, "How can you do that to NPCs?" And I'm going, "Mate, they're NPCs.
they're not real
Like
people.
they're not real people." Do you ever think I can't drive for one thing? I'm the safest person ever. If you
Yeah,
put me in a car, I couldn't even turn it on. So like,
no.
unless I try to get out the back and push it to like, you're no, and even then I'm not strong enough to. So you're the safest person ever. Around me if I'm in a car.
Mhm. So apart from GTA, what's your other most anticipated games coming
Oh,
up?
it would have to be there actually is a good few games coming out this year. I don't know if this one's coming out this year, but it's going to be Elder Scrolls 6. So
Hmm.
the basically the next version, or the next, Skyrim. It's not going to be, obviously it's not Skyrim, but I mean it's that game, but it's just going to be so much better and so good. And the hours I even put into Skyrim, and
Yeah,
the three big worlds for me in terms of games that put so much time and effort into: Fallout worlds, Skyrim, and the likes of Morrowind, and what do you call it? The other one as well, Oblivion, and then GTA. So they're for me the ones I'll always get real excited about. And
hmm.
but there's a couple of other ones, like there's going to be, I think, a new Fable coming out. I remember playing
All
uh
right, yeah.
Fable 3 and stuff, and
Hmm.
it was really good. And there's like, there is there's a whole lot more. And then Reese was telling me yesterday about Hogwarts Legacy 2 apparently is meant to be in the works for getting made or whatever. So for gaming for now, I think's in a good
A
a
good
good way.
spot. I think as
Yeah.
well, a lot of the games are trying to shy away now from the live service and online only. Like
Yeah.
one of my most anticipated games was Test Drive,
Right.
because you know me, I love my racing games.
Yeah.
But soon as it was like announced like a week before it was online only, I put me off and I never bought it,
Yeah.
because like just can't play offline at all.
Yeah, that's what gets me about some of those games, and GTA as well. With they added that or is it like a GTA pass and all, or whatever
Yeah.
it was? They added that. That gets me annoyed about as well, about Fortnite. They have all the Call of Duty have their
Mhm.
stuff. They're trying to make you buy all the skins and all. And then what was the other one? FIFA, real bad for it. The points and stuff.
FIFA's terrible. Like
Yeah,
the joke for me is like I'm the only person that doesn't have a skin on Fortnite.
yeah. But that's great. I respected that. I would
I
never
just
be like,
refuse
go and get
to
one.
buy it. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'd rather spend £5 on milk and bread than
yeah.
a
Although
silly
saying
Fortnite
that,
skin.
like the good thing about Fortnite though, if you do keep up to date with it, was that when I bought the first battle pass, I
Hmm.
didn't need to buy another one, because if you completed it, you got enough points to buy the next one.
Buy the
So it was
next one,
like
yeah.
you only really paid £6
Hmm.
that first time. But even still, it's still £6. You're right. There's
Yeah.
other stuff you could probably spend that money on. To be fair, now.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. If I was proper diehard, I probably would. But like I know my friend Simon. He's bad like with FIFA, like Ultimate Team.
Right.
I don't know if he's bad now, but he used to spend like £200 on like packs and stuff like that. It's just crazy, crazy
Yeah, I
money.
was
But
like that too. Not
yeah,
200, like, but I mean, I'd probably have spent like the likes of 200 over the course of the game until the next one came out. I was never
mhm.
like, 200 in one night or whatever. It would be like tenors here and there, just to try and get
Yeah.
some accents. I haven't done that this year, which I'm so glad, or even last year. It was never a thing, and I've actually been saving packs here for the team of the year that comes out real soon. So
And that's the thing, because obviously, one of the I wouldn't say main focus of your channel, but you do Ultimate Team quite a lot, and you do
yeah.
attract quite a lot of views from that. And you were like saying you were dissatisfied this year
Oh yeah.
with FIFA, yeah.
Yeah, really, really. It's the least time on the channel I've put into or a EA Sports, whatever you want to call it,
Hmm.
FIFA. Um, and for a reason, because I've started to enjoy it a wee bit more now that I did take some time away from it, and I've sort of come back. And that stream I was going to do the other night, but obviously I had other stuff going on. Like
Yeah.
even I get good views just for, but when Team of the Year comes, it'll pick up again. But I'm not this guy that puts my heart and soul into it anymore. And like I actually been playing Rivals recently offline,
Hmm.
and I never play Rivals. I hate all that, but
Yeah,
because
the commentary is annoying on it. Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
Spanish guy or whatever it is, like go go, like it's just
Yeah, that yeah, 100%. But I do like that they did add that and all in. But at the same time, it wasn't as good as the years before. And starting to realize that now that I don't maybe need to get every FIFA that comes out or what. But
Mhm.
I probably still will, because it's built. It's a game that's been like the WWE, like the football. It's just been built in from I was young to get that game. I think I've been playing from like 2002, FIFA '02 or FIFA
Yeah,
'03. It's been
I'm the
years.
same. I
Yeah.
think last year's FIFA was the first FIFA I missed.
Right.
Because like I'm more just a career mode kind of guy. Anyway,
Yeah.
for FIFA, or like play me at like the FIFA sesh with your pals and stuff.
Yeah.
You ever done the FIFA sesh before?
I never. Well, and maybe we used to have so back when I was smoking weed and stuff. Which, by the way, don't do, folks. But I'm brutally honest with everything I say. But we would basically not a well, I would have a wee drink as well, but if I was
Mhm.
smoking too, it wouldn't have bothered me. Not everyone does, but
Yeah.
we wouldn't have done it like maybe you would have done it the way you've explained to me before. Like it's that would be class. So I do think that would still be good.
Yeah.
But I mean, we would maybe have a smoke and play chore a lot, and
Yeah.
and things like that. There, but we never actually had like the way you were saying, which sounds good to be fair.
Yeah, so like for us, like we would do like every time we concede a goal, you would take a shot. So like
That's good. That's good. But I'd be on
the
the floor after
yeah,
the
so
conceding me a
the
goal.
first games would be like a 1-1, a 2-2, but
Yeah.
by close at the end of the night, it was like 8-6 and
Yep.
10-12 or whatever. Like it was so
Because
close.
you're playing
But
like this
yeah,
all over the
I'm
place.
actually gonna ask you this because like I'm not the biggest person for smoking weed, but to
Yeah.
me, I think it should actually be legal in the UK because I don't think it's actually that bad.
No, no. If my son ever came in and said he was drinking, I would be like, "Come on, son, pull your act together." But if he came in instead of smoking weed, I'd be like, "Look, as long as you're in a safe place and
Yeah.
you shouldn't, you know what I mean? And I'm still gonna judge you, you know what I mean? But at the
Mhm.
same time, like, it's not the worst, like, because I know what it's like. You sit there, you basically mold into the city.
Yeah.
You don't like the safest room you'll ever be in is in a room full of stoners because they're either going to be paranoid and scared or they're just not going to say anything or be very relaxed. Whereas if
Yeah.
you're in a room of alcoholics or people doing coke or whatever,
Yeah.
you're probably going to get your
Yeah.
head kicked in or
Yeah,
some
like
sort of thing.
there's a big difference, I think, between weed and like coke and stuff. And like,
Yeah,
how can I say? So, from my experience, I've had a few joints and stuff, but would I go out and buy it myself? Probably not. I wouldn't go and
yeah,
find it, but like my pals used to sometimes have it, and then would offer me it, and I would. But like,
yeah.
you go to Canada, for example, it's completely legal, and
Oh, is it?
the shops all over the place selling
Right,
like weed. I tried like the gummies.
right.
It's
Okay,
like
okay.
gummies and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It was a I like it gets you in a good buzz kind of
It
thing. Like,
does. And I'm so glad though I never like so if I'd been smoking still I wouldn't be doing this YouTube, know what I mean? So
mhm,
you would like I was smoking every day, like constantly for 10
mhm,
years and thankfully I got sick and that's what made me stop. I was like, right,
yeah,
I've been sick for a week, right? I can do 2 weeks, I can do 3 weeks, and thankfully it's been 4 years. But
mhm.
you know, I don't know. I've always said to myself, what would a stream be like if I was completely stoned? Like,
Yeah.
would it be any better or make me
Well,
feel worse? But it'll probably make me feel worse. So I'm glad I don't.
look at Joe Rogan. He's pretty much getting
Yeah,
stoned every time he does a
yeah,
podcast, kind of thing. And like
uh,
RVD,
yeah,
he's a big stoner as well as he. So is to me, I think it's harmless and
yeah, yeah,
like who would have thought we would have been speaking about weed, but like
yeah.
kind of thing. That's just amazing how our conversations kind of go. But
That's a
like,
great podcast for you. You know what I mean?
yeah, like who would have thought? But like to me, I think it should be legal. It's a
Yeah,
UK thing. I don't know why the
yeah,
if it's because the the money that it could make.
yeah.
I don't know why
I've
it's
always heard
illegal.
conspiracy theories, like, because it does. Although saying that, I was at my most healthiest, when I was smoking. Like, I had never been in a hospital, and then I stopped
Mhm,
smoking. I ended up getting sepsis in my
mhm,
leg. I ended up shingles. I ended up getting my gallbladder out, gallstones all the time.
mhm.
So I don't know if they had came anyway, but, at least at that point, I didn't feel, I used to just feel numb. Know what I mean? I think that's
Yeah.
why it was
And
really
I think
kind of bad.
that's the thing as well. Like you've had quite a hard time in the last year or so. Like touch wood, you've been okay just now, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
leading up to probably the start of last year,
Yeah,
yeah,
just
you
I,
were
I
going through quite
think
a bit of health problems.
the gallstones had been there for years, and it was affecting my liver and all that. And that is only gallstones, but the pain when you have them at the
Hmm.
time is the sorest pain ever. Like I was on the floor, basically tears running down my eyes, and proper could barely breathe. My back was so sore, and but because it also affects your liver too, so it was like a
Yeah.
Simpsons character. It was yellow, and my brother had to scoop me up with the floor. Thankfully, I had enough strength to ring him, and he was able to get in. And he just scooped me up with the floor, put me in the back seat, and brought me to. But I felt like when I was doing my other job, I've had other jobs in the past where I feel like the same feeling happened even then.
Yeah.
and it was to the point where it would last like 6 hours or so, and I'd be going, what is this? And never really went to get it checked out. And then when I finally went to the hospital, they were like, look, gallstones, then it's affecting your liver. Your liver's not functioning right. You're just, and you need to get that out. So thankfully, it is, and I've been feeling good since.
And what was crazy as well, you were streaming when you were in pain. That was the
Yeah,
crazy thing. You like the content didn't stop until you
no,
were actually physically in the hospital. Like you
and
were still putting out so
I
much
was still
content.
trying my best, even putting wee posts and all out, and trying to get shorts and all out still. And just because it gets built into you when you're creating content, it is like a full time job. And
Mhm,
when I say to people and I say to my dad, they're always sort of, you can tell they're either laughing or they're like, this wee man's heads away. But when you have a passion about something and you are working towards a goal and a dream,
mhm.
people don't understand that. But
No.
when I was in the hospital and I was like, all I want to do is go back and go live, and that's the first thing I'm going to do when I go in, other than maybe get a couple of hours sleep, because sleeping in the hospital is a nightmare. But and people, I've always been a hard worker, and I've did that in every way. Just glad I found something to put the hard work into. That's not a
Yeah.
9 to 5 job.
Because like all the like YouTubers that I watch and stuff, like nobody comes close to the amount of content they put out on on a daily basis than you.
Yeah,
Like I'm subscribed to it. It's the
and
the amount of work you put in is crazy.
so like now, I am an example of what is it to say? There's a good saying for it, like it's not always about the amount you do. It's about the
Yeah, like quality over quantity.
yeah. So, but I'm the opposite. I'm quantity, maybe over a bit of quality, but like I don't think though when my videos go out and my live streams are there, and my shorts are even good quality
Mhm,
too. It's just people might get a bit frustrated. Oh, the shorts are all the same, and whatever the live streams you do the same games. But I do feel like everything has stepped up in the quality. I just put a lot
mhm.
of stuff out. So
Yeah. So the end goal probably for yourself and for me is probably to be doing this full time. Is that
yeah,
like a content creator? Would you say
yeah.
would you say that's quite a good assessment?
Yeah, yeah. Well, the good thing for me, I've been on the YouTube monetize. I've been monetized on YouTube for 2 years now, so
Mhm,
like I'm making revenue, but it's like you said, you need to pay the bills, and
mhm,
so that for me is the thing. Is to go full time, and is the instead of 2 years the way I'm now, make the next 2 years even better, and maybe generate a wee bit more.
mhm.
Because don't get me wrong, it's not all about money, but I would love to cover my bills and for
Yeah.
the house and just to live off. That would be enough. Just so I'm not looking. I'm not a big spender of money unless it's to do with gaming, or I like a coffee. I like to try and maybe when I
Mhm.
go a walk buy a wee coffee every day. You know what I mean? Like other than that, I'm not a big spender. So it
Yeah.
would just be all to put back into the channel and to keep my house going and stuff. So if I could
Here's
do
a
that full time, you know.
here's a question for you. Cost at a Starbucks.
Oh, oh,
Where would you
I
go for your
think
coffee?
oh, I've been in Starbucks more. I probably would go Costa to be fair.
Mm.
Yeah, probably go Costa.
I'm
Starbucks
the,
is too
I'm the
dear.
same. Yeah,
Yeah,
Starbucks.
yeah.
I
Plus,
don't
it's
know
an
what
extra day.
Costa's coffee just seems nicer for some
Yeah,
reason. Like,
yeah. It's stronger for me as well.
mhm,
I do like a strong coffee,
yeah,
so yeah, 100% Costa there. But recently there's these barista. We have no go. You just get them in a garage. You go make a
yeah.
coffee and then leave. So I've been
Oh,
drinking
I
them.
yeah, I like
So
the Costa machines and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
these have Costa machines. That's class. We have barista. I don't even know who the hell they are, but the coffees are all right. But
yeah.
you know,
Well, that's the thing. We're living in Northern Ireland actually, and this is another topic
yeah,
I was actually thinking of was that the postage to Northern Ireland. Oh
yeah.
my god!
Well, shocking.
Like I sent you a still game DVD,
Yep.
and like the postage just to get to you, like from the mainland to Northern Ireland, like that's crazy. So like your
Yeah,
prices must be a little bit more expensive,
yeah.
and of course we're in a cost of living crisis as it is just now.
It
Like
is bad, and I'm wondering. No, do you think that is Brexit? Do you think that's maybe because I think there's still the whole debate of the Irish Sea border and all. I don't even know, to be honest. Politics I
yeah,
try to stay out of. I think
stay out of yeah.
as soon as you
Like
bring politics into a convo, I leave.
I think it's like maybe to do with like yeah, I think Northern Ireland's still in the European Union, but the rest ain't,
Oh,
or
yeah,
something. It's something like that. I'm not entirely sure myself, but I think it's like the agreement was with Brexit that Northern Ireland could still be part of Europe. I think
Yeah,
something
it's
like that.
strange. It's hard to work out, honestly. See, living here, not only have you to deal with all the well, I'm from an area, I'm from the Shankill Road, so most
Mhm.
people would know that road being, it's one of the probably most bomb places here, and and then uh, what was I going to say? Just sort of poverty. It's like I came from an estate, so the Shankill estate. I lived
Mhm.
right where paramilitaries run the show. Nothing went through them in that estate or whatever. So not only did you have to deal with that, you had to deal with the colored politics and the
Mhm.
sectarian stuff that goes on, and so they grow up through all that, and it messes with you at times.
Yeah,
It's
I
crazy.
was going to say though, I think our generation,
Yeah.
it's becoming less
Oh yeah.
Catholic, like Catholic versus Protestant. So in Aberdeen,
Yeah.
like we're quite, I would say we're more atheist. So like,
Yeah.
it's not that religious bigotry and all that sort of stuff
And that's
up here. But like, I think nowadays, like it's more accept like. Especially in Glasgow, because Glasgow was quite similar to Belfast, I would
yeah.
say, in terms
Oh
of
yeah.
it
Yeah.
just was speaking to like people that lived in Glasgow and stuff. They used to say, like, for example, uh, like there was this guy I used to work with, and he said his dad always asked him, right, if he was dating a girl, what school did you go to? Kind of hang it,
Well, that
and then he would know if it was a Catholic he was dating or a Protestant. But I think now
yeah.
it's very acceptable that
Yeah. Yeah.
a Catholic can date a
That still
Protestant and
happens
stuff.
over here, though. If someone goes, "Oh, I'll go to St. Malachy's," and I automatically know that, right?
Hmm.
Okay, but there's nothing wrong. So I'm just from. I was a guy born in a Protestant background, so I'm not
Hmm.
Protestant. I don't teach the
Yeah,
religion. I'm
no.
not religious.
Hmm.
So I look at these people that fight over it. You're really only fighting over Rangers and Celtic, really, when you get down to it. Football,
Mhm.
know what I mean? So
And a lot of it is to. I think now it's there's still idiots out there, but I
yeah,
think now it's a lot more calmed down. Like there is Celtic fans that are mates with Rangers fans. I
yeah,
have good banter with well, you're a Rangers
yeah,
fan, and we have good
yeah,
banter sort of thing. So
100%.
it's no hatred. And
No,
like I was having this discussion with this lassie the other night, and it's like she's a Dundee United fan as well.
right,
So we were speaking about this, and like I think nowadays like it's more just good banter, and for 90 minutes there might be abuse like Ryan Jack. I would
yeah.
be screaming at him and stuff, but like again, calling him Judas and everything. But like after 90 minutes, it's a bit of banter with your mates kind of
Well,
thing.
yeah.
It's nothing.
I don't want to go out and hurt anybody. No, there
No,
is those people
no,
that come out of a stadium and go, "I'm going to jump some because of the
yeah.
shirt they're wearing or whatever." It's a
Hmm.
nightmare.
It's absolutely crazy, is it? But like I think nowadays it is getting a lot more better. And like as I said, I'm myself, I'm not really religious, so like my granddad though I think was Protestant, so he would
Right,
have been he was like a Bible basher, so he used to go
right,
to people's doors and like I think try and get them to convert to
yeah,
God and stuff when he was younger. But back then, especially in like 1930s, 40s and stuff, there was a lot more
yeah,
a religious society now, sort of thing.
yeah, yeah, and that's what and I've worked with Catholics, I've worked with Protestants, and well, I know Protestants probably more, but I mean,
Mhm.
I look at our side like no one's really religious, but yet
No.
right over you look and don't get me wrong, and I was what I respect about the Catholic side is that they are a lot of them families are religious. They go to mass, they go to their
Mhm.
stuff, they do what they need to do, and I completely respect that because they do basically practice what they preach. You know what I mean? Whereas over on our side, it's I don't know anybody that goes to church. You're sort of seen as a
Mhm.
weirdo if you'd like to go to. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing going to church?
I just hope, like, as I said, we won't really dive too much into the
Yeah,
politics, but like, I'm just hoping with the way the United Kingdom is just now, like, well, for me, my point of view, I want to be Scottish,
independence. Yeah,
independence, right? But
which
like
is
I
nothing
don't,
wrong with.
yeah, I don't hate English people. A lot of my friends are English.
Oh,
I
you
just
hate me, do you? You hate me? You want the United Ireland and all? No, I'm only joking, folks. I'm only messing.
but like the establishment, Westminster and
Yeah,
stuff, and I just hope the way it is just now, it doesn't affect Northern Ireland. We don't want to go back to the
the
70s
no.
and all that kind of thing. With One
Because my
Piece.
dad would say you couldn't go into the city centre without being patted down and like
Mhm.
frisked and all that there, it'd be like
Yeah.
probably going into an airport now. So
Mhm.
I don't want all that and not being able to walk down a certain road in case you get jumped or killed or whatever,
Mhm.
going into a shop and it get blown up, like
Mhm.
where I live, that's still a real big possibility. There's like I say, if you look at the Shankill Road's history, the bombings that have been and the shootings and stuff, it's not good. But
Mhm.
if we can stay away from that, I'll be
Yeah,
very
yeah,
happy.
yeah. That's it. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how we got onto that, but that.
Or if someone sees me get run down or something or whatever or what, and puts it as a short and puts it up on YouTube, Ginger and
GT.
in real life.
That's for all the NPCs that was killed on
Yeah,
this YouTube
it's a
channel.
tribute. They got the revenge.
Yeah, but I don't want to take too much more time up, Adam. But I'm going to ask one thing before we do a quick fire round of questions.
Yep.
Did you see the WWE Netflix debut?
I seen like I say, I don't watch live, so
Yeah.
I saw a lot of highlights. I go onto the YouTube and check out
Mhm.
the highlights, and you know what? It was a great show, and it was great to see The Rock come back and the Undertaker, Rhea Ripley, and stuff. And it's really it's brilliant because to me, I don't really know an awful lot nowadays is what I used to when the Undertaker and the Rock were feuding and Stone Cold and all
Mhm.
the for me my days of wrestling and but it was a great show and I think moving to Netflix was a great decision.
It's an
I'm
absolute
hoping
brilliant move.
they're allowed to get away with more, and make it more
I
extreme.
think they kinda are, but
Yeah,
I think there's still a little bit of censorship, which I don't like. And
yeah,
like for me, it was a letdown. I was wanting The Rock to turn on Roman.
yeah,
I would have loved that. Like just
yeah. That
like I
needs to
think,
happen. It
yeah.
needs to happen.
I'm not sure if the story is like petered out and he's just not coming back or anything, but
Yeah,
I
that
just
could
was a
be it though.
disappointment for me.
That could be it because The Rock still looks in great shape. You know what I mean? Like it's different.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the Undertaker come back because he's way older and it's good to just see him appear and stuff. Like he's just hasn't got it no more, and that's just because of age. It's not because you know who doesn't love the Undertaker and who some of my
Mhm.
greatest wrestling moments and the reason I'm into wrestling so much is because of the Undertaker. It's just his time is came and gone,
Gone, yeah.
and if you don't believe that, go and check out that Goldberg match, the Undertaker Goldberg, and you'll see your answer. You know what I mean? And
Do you think he should have retired after the Triple H match?
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think that would have
or
been the best time for him to retire. That
yeah,
end of an era that they were going for, kind of
100%. I
storyline.
think they should have kept the streak going until he was ready to bow out, and then have like a Shawn Michaels or
Or or
Triple H.
The Brock
Yeah,
Lesnar match. He should have retired as soon as the streak was
yeah,
broken. I think
yeah.
that should have happened. Yeah.
100 because coming back and then it just soiled it all and that match was just but I saw something about Paul Heyman being like if you really thought the Undertaker had a choice there stepping
Mhm.
into the ring with Brock Lesnar then you're mistaken because it's Brock Lesnar. You get into that ring he'll throw you about all over the ring if he wants to. If he wants you to feel any type of pain in that ring, there isn't a man probably able to stop him.
Mhm. So I was going to ask, like, so who's your Mount Rushmore? If you could pick your top five wrestlers of
Oh,
all time. Well, I know you're
I think
number one, but your top
so.
five.
Stone Cold would be at the top.
Mhm.
People are maybe going to go mad at me for saying this, but I loved Chris Jericho. I don't know why Chris
Jericho
Jericho
was
to
great.
me
Yeah.
belongs there. First undisputed champion. The way he came over from WCW, the mouth on him, the amount of times he changed his gimmicks, and kept himself relevant
Mhm.
even to this day. Still,
Yeah,
going
he's
and
still.
don't get
I
me
know
wrong.
a lot of people don't like his new gimmick and stuff, but he's always like evolving in new characters and stuff. Yeah.
When I did the wrestling, you were told he adapt and evolve, and he's done it his whole career. So that would be another one. The Undertaker definitely.
Yeah.
Like Shawn Michaels too. See, it's difficult because
It's such a hard question, isn't it?
oh, because it could change tomorrow. Because I say Jack, people, well, why might not put the Rock in? Why not do? I would go maybe Triple H, my last one.
Triple H,
Triple H,
probably the
Michaels,
best heel.
Undertaker, Jericho, Austin. That would be for me. Just
As some lineup because like yeah, Triple H as well. Like he was like such a good heel in the early
and
two
then
thousands.
See, you could say Randy Orton as well, one of the greatest heels I've ever seen.
Mhm.
Edge, one of the greatest heels. The Rock's so good at what he does. It's
It's so
difficult, man,
hard,
and
is
you're
it?
always
It's so
going to
hard.
upset somebody. But that would be the five right now I'm thinking of.
Five right now.
You know.
I was going to actually ask about that. So you've obviously told me before, but from the viewers that might not know, you've actually done a bit of wrestling.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Been in the ring. I wrestled with Pro Wrestling Ulster. Only did like 3 matches in front of crowds. There was one. So every year there's a culture night or whatever it's called in the town. I can't fully remember the name, but it's sort of around like maybe just before October or what. So like you'll go into town and there'll be like there's a circus group that comes in. There's different like setups and all. So they used to set a ring up. PWU would have the ring, and I went to it a few times before I actually joined. But I
mhm.
remember that's probably my crowded moment being in that big battle royale. There was like
Yeah,
20, 30 of us in the ring and we're just getting thrown over the top and beating each other for. I didn't get put out straight away. I was in there for about 5 minutes and then I got
that's
chucked over the top.
amazing.
And it's brilliant. And then doing tag matches, I did ref. Practicing was just being in that ring, mate, was so good. Running the ropes was one of my favorite. Just going back and forth, and people think the ring's soft, the ropes are soft. It's
They're
not.
probably not, is it? No.
And see the height of the ring getting in it. You know,
Yeah.
like oh, it's when I get thrown over the top. Honestly, like you land and it's not a comfortable landing, like by any
Yeah,
means.
it'd be a hard bump to land on a concrete floor.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
uh,
And
you know.
you were saying as well that the special guests that you used to like see, like you brought up to
Oh,
me, like Chris
so
Masters and stuff.
Chris
Like,
Masters, you had the likes of Scotty Too Hattie, Drew McIntyre, Shelton Benjamin, Al Snow. A lot of those guys come over and did seminars with us because a lot of them as well were going down south and going to Scotland. So the
mhm,
logical thing was to come to us too if you're going to do a full tour as well. So down south you have over the top, you had us at Pro Wrestling Ulster, which I think is now Titanic Wrestling. And
mhm.
then you have over where you are, I'm forgetting the name of the real
I, I,
hardcore.
ICW. Yeah,
ICW, it was
ICW.
so good.
Mhm,
The best of all three. But I mean, they would just come over and I did a good load of moves with a lot of them. But wrestling when you're practicing as class, it's like you do a round of like suplexes. So one person does like 10 suplexes, and then you get in the back of the lane, and then you're taking suplexes, and
yeah,
you're doing so it works so well, and it was just so fun, man. And then putting the matches together, even just practicing, you'd be
yeah.
discussing the spots and just getting in there and then doing a wee bit on your own. It was brilliant, mate. It was so good. Although I think a lot of my injuries came from that. I think I ended up with like 3 concussions and
Oh,
a worse
Jesus.
back, and crazy, mate. Just proper.
I,
But it was
I
my own
remember
fault.
like I remember like primary school, like you would think you're a wrestler and you're like
Yeah,
wrestling out in the back, like backyard wrestling.
yeah,
And I remember like how can I say it was I'm surprised nobody got hurt.
yeah.
But yeah, like you don't try wrestling at home. What we were kind of
There's some moves you can get away with, like a choke slam and all, and things like that. There, because it's sort of universal. Like how to just grab somebody and then lift them up,
yeah.
but there's a lot more like that goes on into the moves.
Mhm.
And even just learning your international. You grip up and you
Yeah.
throw the arm around and all. Like you've got to learn that, and there's so much more to it than just these big finishers and you got to learn the ring and all. And I feel the same as you. I don't know how I wasn't snap my neck when I was younger because I did all that too. And
Mhm.
but you're not doing it right if you're not in an organization or what. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Mhm.
you've got to go
Like
there and learn the trade.
In Aberdeen, I don't know if there was any, but I think probably like for the best school it would have been like ICW down in
Yeah,
Glasgow probably.
yeah,
For like any aspiring wrestlers because like all the top wrestlers that have came from Scotland have all came from ICW, like
yeah.
so Drew McIntyre, even like what's his name? Why am I
Dan
blanking on his
Cable or
name?
no or
Yeah, he
yeah,
came.
yeah.
He was in ICW.
He came over as well. He was one that would have come over as well,
Oh
but he
no,
did more real shows.
no, I'm da. No, I'm da. That was the one I was thinking of.
Oh no, Yo, I'm there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was ICW. Obviously, Grado, he was
Oh, great.
ICW.
Yes,
He
yeah,
did
yeah,
TNA. I'm trying. I know I'm missing somebody. Oh, Joe
yeah.
Hendry.
Joe Hendry, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so many. Honestly, the
So,
talent over
but
here for
they all came from ICW. Pretty much
yeah.
most of them. Yeah. So like, I think if like you wanted to go to wrestling school in Scotland, probably have to go into Glasgow.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and thankfully, this is what I love about Belfast and why I wouldn't move really, is you've got everything at your doorstep. Don't get me wrong, is it the biggest city? It's becoming bigger, but like once I'm done here, I'm gonna go a walk and get a
Mhm.
coffee and walk about the town, the city,
Yeah.
and everything's there. So I'm only a stone throw away from the heart of the city. So and everything happens here. Whereas
Mhm.
yourself, you might have to go to Glasgow, which is hours away, or
Yeah.
Inverness, or
Like Aberdeen's a decent sized city as well,
oh
but
yeah,
there's
yeah, sorry, yeah,
I would say like there's not apart from like drinking alcohol and stuff.
yeah,
There's not much for our age to do really. Like
yeah. And I
there's
didn't
like
mean that, and I just sort of,
yeah
I'm just trying to base that Scotland's big, it's huge.
yeah it's massive. Like even for us, like for quite a lot of things, you probably do have to go down to like you've got like your restaurants and stuff like that, but it's not apart from the beach.
Yeah,
It's like there's actually more things to do out Aberdeenshire, probably
oh
like your hiking and all that sort of stuff. Activities
yeah,
in the Aberdeenshire than it would be the actual city itself. Because Aberdeen City, I could go on a rant about it, but it's not what it used to be, say 10 years ago,
yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, I just like really like went downhill. But like, yeah, last thing I was going to ask about wrestling before we go on to the quick fire questions I've got for you. What was your finishing move?
Oh well, I always for me it was the stunner. Like,
Oh,
but
nice,
I never
nice.
really, when you're getting told you're having a match, I never won the matches, so I never really hit like when I did like a finisher, like a nose, it was more like a cutter. It wasn't like Randy Orton's RKO. It was like a cutter
Yeah.
when I had the tag team matches, but. Like, because you weren't winning, it wasn't like no one went, oh, he just hit his finisher. You know what I mean? It
Mhm.
was like, oh, he had a big move, and then they would have kicked out, and then I could hit the finisher, and then I get beat.
Yeah. So
So
sort of like the
you know,
DDP cutter,
the
the diamond
DDP
cutter.
cutter would have
Yeah.
been, or what I wanted if I could have had my way, and if I was still learning what I was going to push for myself was the kill switch.
Oh,
Christian's
yes, nice, nice.
such a
Hi.
great finisher, man, and it feels great, and so that would have been that. Or I think like one thing about wrestling, like that looks so great, is if you have a submission finisher. Like,
Mhm.
ever remember the crossface? You could just slip
Yeah.
yourself into it,
And that was my
and
old
then
finisher. I used to love doing the crossface.
just the crossface and
Yeah.
so like I think like the best combination for a wrestler to have a great signature and then that submission finisher because I don't know, it just looks more awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome. Right. Am I ready for the quick fire? This is because
Let's go.
this is going to be funny.
I'll try and answer them as quick as I can, but remember
Oh,
my
no,
uh
yeah,
my
no,
brain.
there's no. I say quick fire. It could like there might be a question that, what am I trying to say that
That's a wee
might,
bit more or something or
yeah. I've just realised I'm an idiot, so I'll
by the way, it's
redo.
getting so dark where I am right now, folks, and I don't really have a big wait there. Let me
There we go. I've got the questions now. Here we go.
John, I'll not be able to plug it in anywhere. Folks, you're going to have to deal with me in the dark. Sorry.
I don't worry about that bit. Right, so here we go. I'm just going to put this on a different tab so I can see as well. Where are we? There we go. So, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
100% got to be
Easy.
coffee, is it?
Easiest question we'll have there.
Yeah. Summer or winter?
Summer, because, don't get me wrong, I get burnt if I don't have my Factor 50 on, but at the same time, like, I am struggling right now with this winter, I'm telling you. It was -3 the other night, and I thought I was going to die, so summer for me,
Yeah,
although
I,
not
I know.
maybe typical for other gingers.
Yeah, I know myself. My brother's ginger, and honestly, he gets burnt so bad in the summer.
I'll go out there now and get burnt in this cloudy.
Cats or dogs?
Oh, what was it, sorry?
Cats or dogs?
Oh, cats for me,
Cats,
yeah.
yeah.
I
That's
just
the same with
respect them.
me.
I just love their wee. They remind me of humans more than any other animal, really. Because they just if like imagine someone was stroking your head all the time, you would get fed up and like scratching and move. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they just I don't know. They're more like humans to me. But I love dogs too, but I prefer a cat.
yeah. Alley bird or night owl? I know that answer.
Oh, a night, because I'm struggling even getting up early in the mornings now. Remember
uh,
last time I saw morning.
favorite color?
Oh, blue.
Blue.
Yeah, blue.
Blue
Yeah,
for
all my teams are
Chelsea.
blue. I love my blue. Although I should maybe be saying green because I'm a channel and all, but we'll go blue.
So this questions are getting a bit more, I would say, better. So superhero or villain?
I prefer a villain. Like I prefer a good
Yeah.
villain. To be fair, a Thanos, like when he snapped the fingers, everyone was crying and all. I was like, happy days. I was like,
Dream.
Iron Man's gone. They're gone. Happy days. Brilliant. See you later.
See, that's one thing. This might shock you. I've never seen a Marvel movie in my life.
Oh, have you not? Right. Okay.
I've never actually seen a. I like. Don't get me wrong. Like I've seen like Batman and stuff, but
Yeah. The
I don't
DC
know.
stuff or
I need to actually watch the Marvel stuff because
that
I've
they
never
are
actually.
brilliant. They are honestly
Mhm.
like, and don't get me wrong. Like, I made myself sound like a complete psycho there, but I prefer. I don't know when there's a good villain in a movie, it just
Yeah.
makes it that bit better, and you're wondering the anticipation if things are going to go well or not. So,
Mhm.
but that's just me. But definitely
It's the
watch
same with
Marvel.
action movies. When you've got like a good villain against the hero,
Yep.
it makes the movie better. I feel, but if you've got
But it
like,
comes from the wrestling from me. I love a great
yeah,
heel. I've
I
always
love
loved
a
a great
heel.
heel. So
Yeah, yeah, like it needs a great heel to make an amazing baby face.
yeah, 100%. Yep.
Uh, Dream vacation destination:
Probably America, Florida, maybe. Just
Florida.
get over there. Maybe just somewhere in America, maybe California, even just somewhere with sun, and I'm in America. So
Do you believe in aliens?
I do think there's others out there. I
You
do.
think there's something out there? Yeah, I'm the
Yeah,
same. I think there's maybe something out there.
yeah. You know what? It
Where about?
Could be make or scapic or something, but there's definitely other life forms on other planets. Whether
Yeah.
there's advanced at us, I'm not sure, but
And
I believe in it.
I think games like Starfield, which is one of your favourites, for
Yeah.
example,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
I think they take advantage of that kind of
yeah. You have
scenario.
to.
Yeah.
Things like that make a great. And do you know what they need to make a game of as well? Jurassic Park. They need to make a proper goods. I don't know if you ever played Torak. I think like
Oh yeah, yeah, I have seen it. I've never played it, but yeah, it's like a
such a
dinosaur
great game,
game.
and
Yeah,
they need to either update that or make a new one.
because it was for the 360, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think because you've got like Dino Crisis as well. I think,
Oh,
which is like
oh,
but that was like the PS1 kind of
oh!
era.
I've never played that one to be fair, so maybe I need
It's
to.
sort of, well, you've been getting into Resident Evil. It's like
Yeah,
Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs.
that sounds great to be fair, mate. You know what I mean? That sounds good.
This one we've already spoke about. Favorite football team? We know
Oh,
Chelsea.
Chelsea, hundred
Yeah.
percent Chelsea, big time.
Net Netflix or YouTube?
Team YouTube
YouTube,
all the way.
100%. Would you rather fly or be invisible?
Fly because then, uh yeah, fly because invisible's good and all, but if a tsunami comes out of nowhere, like you can just straight up into the air.
Straight up into the
So
air.
I'll just fly, carry people that don't like into the ocean. Which
Would you? No, sorry. Pizza with pineapple? Yes or no?
yes, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I've always enjoyed it. Know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
wouldn't do it in Italy, like unless you want, hurt. But I'll eat it everywhere else, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm quite fussy with food anyway, but I don't. For some reason, I like my fruit cold. So
Right?
like, I don't know if I could cook
Yeah.
like warm fruit in food. If that makes sense. Like,
Yeah. No, that makes sense, and and
yeah,
and I would never argue against someone who's against that. I just love I'll eat all food.
yeah.
I think that's why I'm putting the weight back on. To be fair, right?
Beach vacation or mountain retreat?
Oh, that's a tough one, but I think it's a tough. Maybe I'd go beach to be fair,
Yeah,
but I
beach. Yeah.
do. I do think like I'd love to go another wee camping trip. Like that's definitely on the list for something at
Mhm.
some point, maybe this year.
Jeans or joggers?
It used to be jeans, but now joggers. Now
Yeah.
actually bottoms. Yeah,
I just think joggers are so much more comfortable to wear for
yeah,
men.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
jeans can hurt men sometimes. Like
Do you know what?
especially.
That answered my question there the other week at that because I was like looking through my clothes and I was like, I've just so many tracksuit bottoms and like I used to have
Yeah.
way more chinos and jeans. Remember chinos were so big as
Yeah,
well.
I remember chinos. Yeah,
I
they
had
were
them
really
for
popular.
years, and then
Mhm,
when I was younger, maybe because you're trying to impress girls and stuff back then,
mhm.
jeans was maybe the better idea. But now I don't care who I'm impressing. I want to feel comfortable, and joggers are the way forward.
Fast food or homemade food?
Oh, see, it's a I hate. See, I can cook and I do cook because I
Mhm.
obviously have to, but I prefer to go out somewhere if that maybe is the better answer. Know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I prefer. I wouldn't always want to eat my own cooking. Know what I mean? Like I'm a good
yeah.
cook, but I'm not like Gordon Ramsay or anything, or he'd be hitting me over the head or something. No.
This is an interesting one. Singing in the shower, yes or no?
Well, I don't even have a shower. I've got a bath, so and there's
That's,
a bit of
that's even better, is it?
even there's a well the I think the reason people do sing in the shower is it's got that noise, whereas I'm
Mhm.
sitting. I bath and a podcast for me. Can you say that?
Yeah.
No singing.
Well, this is not a PC, so like you can say anything you want, mate. I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah. Well, yeah. But I'm even if it's a shower bath, I try not to be in them long. I do what I need to do, and
No,
then just so
God,
I'm
yeah.
not singing like I'd probably break the
And
windows. No way.
yeah, I'm not a singer myself, to be honest.
If I'm
Uh,
drunk and I'm shouting and screaming Chelsea stuff, know what I mean, like blue as a colour, and I'll do that there, but not.
yeah, a couple of drinks I can maybe do a bit of karaoke in a bar or something. But like, yeah, if I'm stone cold sober, there's not a chance I'm like singing in front of a bunch of random people.
Yeah, yeah.
Reading or writing?
Oh, I don't prefer any to be fair, but
Yeah, I don't like. In fact,
probably writing.
I should have added watching.
Yeah,
Should
probably
have
you have be
added.
watching. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I've just lost all those skills from school. I'll never do them anymore, and
No.
it's it's a nightmare.
But see these questions. I use Chat GPT to get.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
So
Yeah,
like,
well done.
then a few I've sort of tweaked in that I
Yeah,
know the answer, but that would be interesting that you would know if that makes sense.
yeah.
Tattoos, yes or no?
I have none, but I've always wanted one. But there's been always something that stopped me from getting one. But
Mhm.
well, money as well. To be fair, but I mean, like I wouldn't be against tattoos. I might do, but I'm near 30 now, so probably won't. But I do like tattoos.
Yeah, like it's the same with me. Like I haven't got any tattoos, but it's like what could you get? Kind of thing. Like I wouldn't have a clue what to put on my body.
Yeah.
I've thought about it for like years, and like for
Yeah,
me,
I don't like those tattoos people just getting random and no meaning to them. I want something that
yeah,
means
something
something.
that means
So
something. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm exactly the same because it's like it's fine having symbols or snakes or whatever, but
yeah.
like, what's the meaning to them,
Although
sort of thing?
saying that, because I had the surgery and I've now got a couple of scars around my stomach, I
Mhm.
was thinking should I maybe try and get like a stomach tattoo or something,
Aye, to like
just
cover
to
it.
hide
Yeah.
it a wee bit. But even at that, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not one of these like people that's ashamed of their body. It's just I had to get it done. So, but
Mhm.
that would probably
Uh,
be the only reason.
and the final question I've got for you is your favorite YouTube channel you watch.
Oh, that is a great question though. What? Oh, oh, that's it.
Such a difficult question, is it? Because even I've had to really sit down
Yeah,
and think, right, who's actually my fit? Who do I watch on a regular basis? Like, as soon as they upload a video, I've got to watch them.
yeah. I really
Such a tough.
don't. I'm on, and if something I like pop like recently, like, and this is gonna sound, I've been watching like what would you say, like favorite South Park moments, or like
Mhm.
compilations of The Simpsons or something. So, I'm
Yeah.
not really. Well, to be fair, I don't know. I've been enjoying watching Still Game on YouTube again recently, so I don't
Yes,
know if that's a
yes.
channel, but yeah,
How,
Still Game.
how have we recorded over an hour and we've not spoke about still game?
Oh, it's crazy. I can't believe it's only come up now, to be fair.
How did that? I can't believe
Here's a
I'm.
question
Oh.
for you. What's your favourite Still Game episode? What would be yours?
Tough question. Probably the one Winston kicks his leg out the window of the sky.
Oh, yeah.
Like
That's a
if anyone's not seen Still Game, it's a Scottish comedy of two old pensioners. And when Adam told me that he loves Still Game, I was so surprised because normally Still Game, I only hear like Scottish people speaking about Still Game. So when you mentioned, oh, you love Still Game and stuff, it was crazy to me, like
Yeah.
that you watch Still Game and like your diehard Still Game as
Oh,
well.
love it. I was watching the one the other night, which is my favourite, the Hogmanay, they're stuck in the elevator and Winston
That's
needs to go
funny.
for
It's
a
funny you mentioned that. I watched that the other day as well because I was like, oh, it's Hogmanay. So
Yeah.
I decided to watch it. on Hogmanay just before you started streaming. Actually, it's
Although
funny you
saying that,
mentioned that.
whatever one I watched at that point, I'm like, it's my favorite. Like I was watching the other one where they're stuck in Hyperdale, know what I mean? And it's
Yeah,
like,
Hyperdeals is funny. Like Naveed, I want to bomb up the shop and stuff.
yeah, and Bram and all turning, generous with his money and all. It's such a great show, honestly. Like,
Yeah, like
definitely check it out. This is coming from someone from Northern Ireland, so
I'm not
definitely
going to
watch.
spoil it for people that's not watched, but the last episode is so sad.
Yeah, yeah,
It's so sad. Like
really is. I've
the
only watched that a few times because I just because you don't want to ruin it, but. I love
mhm.
the older, that's why I like the older stuff more because I know that's not a part of it.
Yeah,
So it's
like
good.
just the accent as well. Like sees a bunch of Callywallies off you. It's like a completely different way I speak, but that's like the typical
That's the way,
Glaswegian.
people would say to me. Some people come into live stream and said I sound Scottish, and some people say I sound Australian and all. But if
Mhm.
you're in Northern Ireland or Northern Ireland, the accent's different from here than it is in
Yeah.
Dublin. Dublin, you have
Mhm.
to, top of the morning, know all that there, and
Yeah.
the kind of
To be sure, kind of.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and we're not like even
No.
like I was on a camping trip. I've said this a load of times to people in the live streams, but I remember going up to Donegal and we were in Port Salon and we were coming back from our camping trip, which was a disaster, but it was brilliant. No, I don't know how it works out, but um, soaked right through. But anyway, we got to the car and the car battery had broke down, so we had to go around and ask these other people. Which, by the way, there was like one house every 15-minute walk, know what I
Oh,
mean? So we're
Jesus,
trying to
yeah.
get jump cables, and when we get up to the door, we were like, "Flip, they might understand," and I didn't understand a word they were saying. Like, no, I'm saying this is coming from someone that's, and they're like, you could tell as well. They knew we were city ones, so they were like, "Oh, you're definitely from a city, lads, aren't you?" And all. And we were just like, "Yeah, just hurry up and jumpstart us so we can move, get back with us."
But anyway, mate, honestly, I could speak to you for hours, absolutely hours. But yeah, I just want to say thank you again for coming on, mate. Like, honestly, for you to be my first guest, thank you so much,
Mate,
mate.
I
It feels
appreciate it so much.
it feels right, and like apart from the technical issues we had before we started recording, this has flown by so well, mate.
Yeah, and credit to yourself as well, mate. I couldn't have went as smoothly as it did there without yourself. Bringing in the great topics and stuff. So honestly, I'm glad and proud to be a part of your podcast, mate. So thank you.
Yeah, and just so everyone can find you, where can everyone find the NI Gamer 1995 and all your channels and stuff and
So
your
just
social
on
media?
YouTube, you go to my YouTube channel, and there's links there. There's but just even if you type in, I think the NI Gamer 1985 YouTube, it will bring all that stuff up anyway. So
Mhm.
just everywhere on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch as well, and TikTok. But I'm not big on TikTok, so you probably might
Yeah,
not want to go there.
yeah. I tried TikTok. It wasn't for me. Like,
Yeah,
but anyway, no. Honestly, it's been a fantastic chat with you, mate. And honestly, this is like a normal chat for us too, kind of
yeah,
thing. So it made sense you coming on for, this is not going to be a weekly thing. It'll just be whenever I feel like having a
yeah,
guest on, sort of thing. But
the class.
you had to be the first guy, and
I'll probably be the only
honestly.
one as well that went from daylight until darkness, and now you're very. Although it does help to change your hair, like, know what I mean? I don't want so many people to know right at the end.
Well, mind you, my lights are quite good. That's why it's actually like your house looks still light outside. To be fair.
No, so there, of my kitchen light there, to be fair
Oh,
on,
is that what it is?
see, a lot of my lights in this house don't work, so I've got to use like lamps and other stuff. So this one does. I don't know how many light bulbs I
Yeah.
put in there, and it just
So,
doesn't.
so wait, see, it looks off a light inside, and I'm like,
Well,
pitch black.
that's just God coming for me. So it is. That's the light. That's the angels. So see you all later.
But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. All the links to the Adams, the NI Gamers channels are going to be down below. And please make sure you check him out and give him a sub. And say that you've seen the video as well. And pop in his live streams as well. I'm sure he'll be like, well, this comes out on Sunday. So I'm sure you might be
I'll be
streaming on
live at
Sunday.
night.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. So probably after the premiere of this video, go and check
Yeah.
out Adam's channel, the NI Gamer 1995. And I'm sure he'll be streaming some amazing content and an amazing game. I don't know what game he'll probably choose, but
Yeah, I never know. I just go random.
anyway, thanks, mate, for coming on.
No problem, Mancave. Thank you very much. You have a great one.
You take care, mate.